Okay. Hello everyone, this is Seth from SethChannel. Welcome to my stream. So yeah, today we'll be playing DDLC Plus, Doki Doki Literature Club Plus. So last time we were able to, and let me just reply to a private message to me. Sorry. Sorry about that. Yep. So last time we were able to finish the main story. On further research, there apparently seems to be a sort of like a true ending, and yeah, we haven't went through the side story. So I want to read the side stories first, and then we'll try to get the true ending thing. So the true ending, based on my research, I'll need to do a save at the beginning and then do it again, and do all the routes. It's just the first act, the act one, and then we can probably skip towards the Monica part. Yeah, that's the plan. Yeah, that's our plan here. Okay. Yep. So first the side stories. So let's log in. Oh, look at that! Look at this art. It's amazing. It's beautiful. So we're gonna go with the side stories first, and then we'll unlock the rest. As seen here, DDLC Plus is kinder in the sense that we have these things unlocked, the CGs, and it sort of gives us a clue on what we need to do to get the other CGs. So, for example, like write a poem for Sayori. That means we'll need to write a poem for all of them. There we go. I didn't write a poem for Yuri. Sorry. This all has to be in Act 1 apparently, so that's what we'll be doing later. So let's read through the side stories first. We only have 2 side stories here, but part 1. If this doesn't unlock after doing this one, I think we'll need to keep on doing the main story, and then yeah. This is just to figure it out, okay? See how the side stories go. Let's begin the side story. Nice. Okay. Okay. Oh, look at that. It's like a cutscene. Let me just fix my microphone here. There you go. Whoa! I haven't seen this. Our tryouts, big sale. Yeah. Okay, everyone. The literature club is starting. Let's all have a seat and take attendance, okay? Ugh. I miss debate club. Oh, so Monika still misses debate club. Okay, got it. We got it. Who knew it would be so difficult to start a new club? I feel worse with every day that passes without anyone coming in. Wow, it's like wow. Wow, yeah, this is like actual like away from the main story. Yep. I'm really starting to lose confidence. Monika is the only member of the literature club. In the days that have passed, all of her efforts to recruit new members have been fruitless. Am I going about this wrong? Monika glances at one of her flyers. Okay. Oh, so this is like the beginning of her literature club, like out of story. The headline is, "Do you like literature?" Maybe nobody's is into literature enough to pick it over their other club interests. Well, yeah, we have the anime club, based on what we know from the story, right? There's the anime club and whatnot. I can't just rely on people liking literature, okay? I need to sell them on a vision. A vision, yep. But what kind of vision? Yeah, this is important. You know, you need a mission and vision statement. That's for any organization if you want, to grow well. Monika rests her head on her desk, deep in thought. But before she realizes it, the recent nights of staying up too late start to catch up to her. Okay. It's so quiet, and the noise of the air conditioner is soothing. Well, hello? Oh, wait, who's this? Oh, it's Sayori. Suddenly, a voice causes Monika to snap awake. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. I never do this. Hehe, is this the napping club? Nice one, Sayori. That's so Sayori. No, this is... Monika pauses, suddenly embarrassed to admit that this is, in fact, the literature club. This is like the beginning prequel. This is the literature club. I just said that. Yay, I thought I got it wrong for a sec. I thought she was after the napping club. I'm super sorry. It was like so unprofessional of me to do that. Don't apologize. I do that all the time. Oh. Did I miss a club meeting? Where is everybody? Well, about that, this is everybody. Really? Just you? Well, we're getting more members. I'm working really hard on it. Oh, so this is how Sayori becomes the vice president. Hold on a sec. If it's just you, that means I gotta be vice president. Called it. Wait, vice president? What are your qualifications? Well, I'm better at napping than you. That's like, a thing at, schools. I remember there's like the class president and then the class vice president and whatnot. Oh, you gotta ask, what does the class vice president do? Right? You gotta ask that, like, seriously. Dude, I know they do something, but it's kind of hard to figure out what exactly a class vice president does, right? Or the club vice president. I mean, you have the club president, you know what they do, and then, the other positions. Aside from being like the substitute if the club president is absent or the class president is absent. Maybe I should be president. Nice one, Sayori. This is like calling to what actually happened in the main story. Now you're just making fun of me. Oh, I'm sorry. What was your name? Sayori. Okay, Sayori. I've been trying really, really hard on this club. I know you caught me at a weird time, but it's really disheartening to not be taken seriously, you know? I care so much about this. I just want to find other people who do too. Oh no. I'm so sorry. I do care, I promise. I have a hard time being serious, that's all. I didn't mean for it to hurt you. And I was just joking about the vice president thing too. I would make a terrible vice president. I mean, I'm sure that Monika tries to say something reassuring, but it's difficult when she still doesn't know much about Sayori. I'm so sorry that this isn't like a real club yet. Yeah, 2 people. Will you still be interested in joining after I've found a few more members at least? Well, no. I want to join now. Really? Yeah, it sounds like a lot of fun. Besides, I can tell how hard you've been working. You're doing something amazing and you should be proud of it, you know? So let me help you turn something stressful into something fun. Oh yeah, that's Sayori in a nutshell. Nothing else, I'm good at that, so... Honestly, how could I possibly say no to that? That's really sweet of you, Sayori. Oh, I'm Monika, by the way. Oh, this is how they met. Yeah, it was in the side story tile, but yeah, this is like the beginnings of the club. The founding. It's like the prequel. How everything came to be. Yeah. Monika. That's such a cool name. Oh, now you're just trying to cheer me up. But you're smiling. Well, I didn't say it didn't work. Monika glances at the flyer on her desk and realizes that her name is already written on it. So, what do we do first? Well, it's getting pretty late, isn't it? We can go home and try to come up with some new ideas to recruit club members. I can do that. Cool. And I think I need to put some more thought into my vision for the club. You know, like a mission. Vision statement. My mission is to make everyone happy. Yeah, something like that. I need to think about it. Hey, do you like hugs? I guess so. Sayori suddenly pulls Monika into a friendly hug, then lets go. You can't even save in the side story. Some people can just really use a hug sometimes. Oh, my voice cracked. Do you guys hear that? Besides, Sayori whispers loudly, hug energy is what keeps me at my best. Hug energy? Monika laughs. Although Sayori is very different from her, Monika feels her spirits lifted. Maybe it's just because she finally found another club member. But, well, I'm looking forward to tomorrow then. It'll be fun. Yeah, I'm so excited. I'm gonna think really hard tonight about how to get more people. Yeah, me too. The beginnings. Let me just turn on my microphone. It's getting really warm. I don't know why it's so warm. Oops. It's hitting the air conditioner. Sorry, the microphone. A day passes and the time comes for the literature club. Monika and Sayori to reconvene. As president, Monika ensures that she's the first to arrive to the clubroom. But she finds herself waiting longer than expected for Sayori. It's been 10 minutes already. Maybe Sayori changed her mind about joining? No, that can't be. She was so excited yesterday. But I'm getting kind of worried. Suddenly, Sayori comes bounding through the door. In her hand, she's holding a sheet of paper. Sorry I'm late. I'm here. It's okay. I'll come back. And Sayori spins over to Monika and deposits the sheet onto Monika's desk. Oh, what's this? It's a new poem. Take my hand, take me forward, take me to your dreamland. Caution me to watch my steps so I can't look back at my footprints. Climb the stairs ahead of me while I look up to you. The more I look forward, the more I look up, the more I can lend to you. If you can trust me to follow your pace, I'll trust you to set it. If you can trust me to lend you a smile, I'll trust you to return it. Take my hand, take me forward, take me to your dreamland. We unlock something. We're gonna really check it out. Hey, this is really good. You wrote this, Sayori? Of course. Wait, no, that's the wrong side of the paper. Huh? I wasn't ready to share that yet. I'm so embarrassed. Monika flips over the paper. Written on the other side is a list of ideas for recruiting new club members. Oh, so this is what you meant to show me. But I'm curious now. Do you write poetry often? I do, but I'm sure I'm not anywhere near as good at it as you are. Really? I'm actually terrible at writing poetry. I've never written anything I was happy with. Like, I always read it again a week after I write it, and I'm like, wow, this is so stupid. I don't know. It's like the dramatic version of me doesn't agree with the person I want myself to be. Or something like that. You should have more confidence in yourself. You're the literature club president. Hahaha, I guess you're not wrong there. I need to set a good example or whatever. You know, I can envision the club doing something like that. Doing what? You know, like sharing poems you write and stuff like that. Oh yeah? I would love that. It's such a good way to learn about other people, you know? It's like we have so many emotions we can't express to other people usually. But you can when it's in a poem, right? Yeah. I think that's helping me form a more cohesive vision for the club. So I'm glad you showed me, well, even though it was by accident. Me too. I felt embarrassed at first, but now it feels kind of good someone else read it. I'll try to show you more of them in the future. I'd love that. Oh geez, I'm getting distracted. Do you want to go over this recruitment brainstorm together? I brainstormed so hard. It was like a brain hurricane. My brain is a natural disaster. Theory, that's terrible. Anyway, let's take a look at the list. Make cupcakes. I was hungry, but it's a good idea, isn't it? Let me think about this. I mean, when will we have the chance to give people cupcakes? You know, like when they come into the club. What if we said we had free cupcakes on the flyers? I'm kind of worried that we'll bring in the wrong kinds of people, you know? Wrong kinds? People will come just for the cupcakes and then leave. Nobody will do that. That will be mean. But you know, I want to find people who are really into literature, even if they don't know it yet. Let's see. The next thing on the list: hunt for people reading books. I don't think I get it. Like going around the school and finding people who are reading books, you know? Like in the morning or during lunch, and we tell them to check out the literature club. Well, the problem with that is wouldn't most people reading books just be doing it for an assignment or something? How will we know if they're just reading it for fun? Well, we could ask them, but then we'd be bothering people who are trying to do schoolwork. I didn't think about that part. I'm sorry. Hey, don't apologize. You're coming up with a lot more things than I can. Oh, your next idea is to hand out flyers rather than just put them up on the wall. I definitely like to start doing that. I'm useful. I never said you weren't. I just need to think. What will we tell people when handing them out? Yeah, that's a thing, you know. Let me start off. My condition got cold. Whew. I don't want to be just like, join the literature club. Let's figure out how we can better engage people. I just had my braces. It's just a thing, kind of hard to speak. What if you told them about the club activities and stuff? What club activities? Yeah, I guess it's supposed to be my job to come up with that, right? A vision for the club. Okay, Sayori, pretend you're a normal person for a second. Wait, I didn't mean it like that. Yeah, that kind of burns. Yeah, that's a noise when you're weird or something. You know, like a random passerby who's getting a flyer? How will you react to the idea of a literature club? Probably like, literature is stupid. I'm joining the anime club. that was our main character's thing, right? What the heck? Sorry, I was just thinking of a friend of mine. Exactly, it's the main character. Okay, what if I said that we like do group reading and discussion and discuss it together? I will probably nap through that. That's you, Sayori. Yeah, but that doesn't really sound fun to most people anyway. We need to really catch their interest, you know? This sucks. Why is this so hard? Monika, don't be sad. What do you like about literature, Sayori? Me? Well, kind of what I said about the poem earlier. I think it gives you the chance to express yourself. Like, express yourself in ways you can't normally do when you're just doing your normal day and talking to your friends. I mean, we all have so many thoughts and feelings that we just don't get to share, you know? It's like intimate. Yeah. How do we get that across to people? We could be like, express your true self. Be intimate with us. Okay, that's kind of... I'm just kidding. Oh my gosh. What is it? I forgot all of my things in my classroom. Oh. I must have gotten too excited and rushed here. Silly me. Rushed, but weren't... never mind. Did you want to get your stuff then? I'll forget if I don't do it now. I truly get Sayori. I can sort of empathize with the character. Haha, well, I'll wait for you then. Okay, it'll only take a second. Sayori dashes out of the room, leaving Monika momentarily alone. Monika sighs and starts jotting her thoughts on a sheet of paper. Express yourself. Be who you want to be. Make new friends. Discover a new you. Discover your heart. No. Write your heart out. No. Write into your heart. Write the way into your heart. Join the literature club. Right the way into your heart. Well, that's lame. Monika! Huh? You startled me. Sorry, but it's something important. On the way to my classroom, there was a girl reading a book. Reading a book? Let's hurry and recruit her. Vice President is moving fast. Wait, are you sure she's not just doing homework? I could tell she was really into it. Well, I guess we could take a look. Monika grabs one of her flyers and stands up from her desk. Then the two depart the classroom, with Sayori leading the way. Oh, this is Yuri? This way! You don't have to run. Yeah, we don't have to run, yo. We don't have to run. Sayori leads Monika over to a particular classroom, then lowers her voice to a whisper. See? In here! Monika peers through the window. Sure enough, there's a girl sitting alone, intently reading a book. I feel like a creep doing this. You should go inside and talk to her. Me? You're the president and I will probably scare her away. Okay, fine, I'll do it. Monika takes a deep breath, then timidly enters the classroom. Yeah, it's Yuri, right? That was fast. Oh my gosh, I'm so embarrassed. Why? What happened? Well, I entered the classroom and she didn't even look up from her book. So I kind of just left the flyer on her desk and then walked out. That's kind of cute. But I'm sure she'll see it and want to join the club. I hope so. Shall we head back now? The two head back to the classroom, Sayori feeling rather accomplished and Monika still feeling a bit embarrassed by the encounter. What encounter? There was no encounter there at all. He just left the flyer. Upon returning, Monika and Sayori resumed their strategy meeting. They discussed various different kinds of recruitment tactics from professional to silly. After going through Sayori's list, and with Monika coming up with ideas of her own, the two end in a better spot than from where they began. Well, I would say today was pretty productive, wasn't it? Yeah, I think we're starting to make progress. I can't wait to get some new members. Hey, what's this? Sayori peers at the sheet of paper Monika was jotting on earlier. Oh, don't mind that. I was just thinking to myself. Join the literature club. Right, the way into your heart. That's so cute. Hahaha. I thought it was a little over dramatic. But Sayori pauses and thinks for a moment. You know, I don't think you give yourself enough credit. What? What do you mean? Like, I don't know, I feel like I can tell from talking to you today. It seems like you're always afraid of doing something wrong. Yeah, but will you call yourself a perfectionist? Yeah. Yeah, I definitely am. I mean, I always have an idea in my head of how I want things to go. And it's like, I can't accept anything less than that. But I think in the end, it helps me try my hardest at everything, so I don't think it's that bad. Like with this club, we have such an opportunity to make it into exactly how we envision it. But it feels like we only have one shot at it. So I'm just really afraid of it deviating from that. The vision. What's the vision? It's... Monika pauses to think, then shakes her head to herself. She sighs. I don't know. I just want everyone to... Monika trails off. Smiling, Sayori taps her finger against the sheet of paper. Right the way into your heart. I think what you're trying to do is to make the club that you need the most out of everyone. That you need the most. Look at that. Look at how the you is italicized. Well, you're the one who knows yourself best, of course. But I'm here to help you. Monika returns Sayori's smile. It's sort of amazing how kind you are. We're really gonna make this the best club ever. Sayori nods, and the two remain silent for a moment, lost in thought. They don't know. The only sound is the steady whisper of the air conditioner. Apparently, their classroom is air conditioned. We didn't know that, but now we do. And the only movement is the afternoon sunlight trickling its way in and out of the moving clouds. Sayori breaks the moment with a big yawn. Time to go home? You tell me. You're the president. Hahaha. In that case, today's meeting is officially over. I look forward to tomorrow. Me too. Sayori beams and grabs her things. You can go on ahead. I need a few minutes still. Oh, I can wait. That's alright. I just want some alone time. In that case, Sayori waves enthusiastically at Monika. Good luck! Monika smiles and waves in return as Sayori spins her way out of the club room. All alone, she sighs to herself and takes a minute to zone out. She wasn't prepared for the self-reflection encouraged by Sayori, but she decides it was something she probably needed right about now. The club that I need the most. I don't get it. I just wanted to start a club with more passion. Something that I could use to help lead people to happiness. Literature is the key to that, because it's the window to the real person inside of us. Underneath the person who's forced to always smile and blend in. The person who's forced to be perfect. Monika suddenly notices a folder on the floor by her desk. Did Sayori leave this behind? I hope it doesn't have her homework in it. Worried, Monika opens the folder to check. Poems. It's a folder of poems. Become the flower. A feeling of joy as a flower plucked from the ground. The color, the scent, it's so pretty in my hair. Every day I pluck some flowers as though they grew just for me. A lifetime of peace and nourishment yanked away in an instant. All for me, all for joy. I need more. I need more joy. I need more happy. Pluck, pluck, pluck. Every day. Pluck, pluck, pluck. So pretty in my hair. Pluck, pluck, pluck. You're going to die, and you too. Beneath my feet, a flower stands alone. It beckons to me. I twist the stem, freeing it from its clinging roots, caressing the final joyous moment between my fingers. But to what ends? I look in every direction, and the field I stand in. The prosperous field is a barren wasteland, the fruits of my labor, the carnage of my joy, and that is why I've decided I must become the flower. What the? Wait, Sayori? Oh. Oh. Oh, okay, we get to unlock Trust 2. Okay. Let's get Trust 2 next. That's cool. Did we unlock the poems that we got there? Yeah, we did. Trust. And then the become the flower. Cool. That's cool. An unusual wheel. That's cool. That's cool. So we have the flower thing. We have the sunshine. So this is by Sayori. There you go. Become the flower. Pluck, pluck, pluck every day. And then there's the weird the secrets, right? Or was it the secret poems? Acquire all of Sayori's other poems. Acquire all of Sayori's other poems. Oh, there once was a lazy bug. Okay. Okay, okay. Oh wait, there was a secret poem that's by Sayori, right? No, that's not it, right? No, this is it. Yeah, it's Sayori. Anyway, let's go to the next side story. Begin this side story. Another day passes in a flash, and it's already time for the next club meeting. Although Monika should have come up with a plan for today's club tasks, she hasn't been able to shake her guilt and anxiety after reading Sayori's poem. I'm so stupid. How did I let myself be the center of attention? Sayori is going through these kinds of feelings and I'm letting her comfort me instead of the other way around. What kind of club president does that this whole time? I didn't think to ask about her own feelings. So much for the stupid vision. Sayori enters the club room with her usual smile, but upon seeing the downcast Monika, her smile quickly fades into an expression of concern. Monika? Is everything okay? I'm really sorry. I'm such a terrible friend. Huh? What are you talking about? You're an amazing friend. Monika shakes her head. I made this all about myself. Even you said so yesterday. You told me that I'm trying to make the club that I need the most, right? But my problems are so trivial compared to yours. Sayori responds quietly. What are you talking about? But as she says that, her face darkens. Through the silence, Sayori mutters her realization. I left my folder here. Monika stares blankly ahead, unable to come up with a response. Yeah, that's what happened. That's how Monika knows about Sayori. I wasn't ready to share those. Now you're worrying about me. I don't want that. But why? We're friends, right? Wordlessly, Sayori nods. Friends look out for each other. I want to be here for you as much as you're here for me. Another long moment passes in silence. The air is incredibly heavy. This is different. It wasn't just about you yesterday. It was about the club. Besides, things were so happy yesterday. You don't need to do this all of a sudden. I don't want it. I like happy. So, if you do this, then you're just being selfish. Monika massages her forehead, struggling through the frustration of such a paradox. It's understandable that Sayori isn't ready to share certain things, but as unfair as it is for Monika to pry, it's also painful for Monika to force herself to ignore the needs of her friend. I'm sorry I looked. I disrespected your privacy. No, I don't blame you for looking. You would have at least needed to check if it was mine. Yeah. Monika takes a deep breath. Huh. Okay. I understand that you don't want me to worry, and I think I'll be able to put this aside so that we can move on. But can you promise me something? Promise you what? Monika pauses to collect her thoughts. This is the Literature Club. It's a place where people can express themselves in the ways that life normally doesn't allow them to. That's the vision. In fact, it's our vision. Right? The way into your heart or whatever. So, I just want you to promise me that you'll remember that too. It doesn't have to be right now, but I want to be here for you when you need it. I want us to be ourselves like that. Sayori smiles gently. I'll promise if you promise. Unable to help it, Monika returns Sayori's smile. I promise. Me too. As the conversation closes, the mood in the room is lifted. With that behind them, it's time to proceed with the club activities. So, wanna teach me about poetry? Oh. Well, let me just turn on my air conditioner again. It's getting humid. It's really humid tonight. Huh? But what about recruitment? It's fine. We have plenty of time for that. But right now, I feel like I want to do this. I mean, I do have to fulfill my end of the promise, you know? There's no way I could say no to that. Just don't expect much. I do a lot of writing, but it's not like I'm a scholar or anything. That's fine. I think I just need like some motivation. Oh, wow. Wow. Monika's really, laying it on. She's laying it on. Like, Sayori get here. This is when they become actual friends. This is it. I never know where to start when it comes to writing poems. Starting isn't so hard. Kinda just need to write down your feelings and see where it takes you. Yeah, but that wouldn't come out any good. It's not supposed to. You're gonna have to fight your perfectionist mind on this one. You can just start by writing your feelings and see what kinds of things it makes you think of. And then, you can turn your feelings into a little story. You can get your feelings down first and then make it sound pretty later. It's not like building a railroad when you go from one end to the other. I don't think we make railroads that way, right? Unless you're in Minecraft. Usually we make railroads from one side to the other, right? Is that how we do it? I'm not sure. I mean, that's how some bridges are formed. You do it. You start on both sides. You already do the math on where to, so it won't misalign or something. It's more like a collage, where you find all the things you want to put in, and then you arrange them in a pretty way. At least that's how I do it. It's not like it's the only way, but it's a really good way to not get stuck right at the beginning. I understand. Yeah, I always get so caught up in how it sounds that I forget about what's actually important. Monika pulls out a pen and starts writing on. Stop being a perfectionist. You idiot. Haha, I'm just kidding. Monika scribbles out "you idiot" after she writes it down. No, keep it. What? Why? Are you calling me an idiot? Of course not. But the point is that you're not supposed to police your feelings, right? Sarah's got a point there. Be as dramatic as you want. Haha, but I was just... Well, yeah. Underneath the scribble, Monika rewrites "you idiot." She stares at the paper. Her words stare back at her. It's kind of funny how I wrote down what I'm mad at myself for, and then I did the exact same thing anyway. This is really gonna take some time getting used to. I believe in you. Thanks. I do too. Me, I mean. But also you, of course. Monika continues the exercise, jotting down her thoughts. It's surprisingly quite a struggle to write it without overthinking it. But after a while, with Sayori's guidance and encouragement, Monika's sheet of paper begins to look fairly lively, peppered with all of her random thoughts. Whew! Monika looks up and down at her sheet. Gosh, I feel so tense looking at this. I hate it. But it's also kind of liberating. It's like writing a diary. I can tell how hard you're trying. It makes me happy. I think you'll be good at writing poems. Don't give me too much credit. I'd have to try really, really hard at it. But I think it's something that I'll enjoy doing. With you. Sayori beams. Look at that cute face. Look at Sayori's cute face. It's amazing. We should zoom in on that. Wait, how do I zoom in here? Oh, here we go. Obs. Look at that cute face. 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 Y'all see that? Look at that cute face. It's amazing, right? Anyway, let's go back. Let's go. Let's go back. Yeah, I'm just there we go. I'll stop here, but we still have time. Let's try to work on a new flyer for the club. I won't be so picky about the language. Yay, let's do it! Monika and Sayori proceed with their work. With each passing day, the two of them become more confident in the club. Not simply from their recruitment planning, but from their vision as well. As their bond strengthens, so does the essence of the literature club. Finally, they begin to truly feel it's only a matter of time before they find more members. Another day passes. As usual, Monika is the first one to the club room. With her is a printout of the revised literature club flyer, complete with all the new ideas Monika and Sayori came up with. If only this was the flyer we gave to that one reading girl the other day. If it's so much more attractive than the old one. But the new catchphrase is featured clearly in the center of the flyer. Write the way into your heart. Surely, common sense would say that one writes from the heart, not into the heart. But the message being delivered is that one can use writing to discover themselves. Hopefully, Monika and Sayori had thought that it would be enough to garner some curiosity from students. Why do I feel so tense looking at this? Monika thinks back to the previous meeting when she performed the writing exercise. Was I always this bad at expressing myself? How am I supposed to be the president if I can't even demonstrate what the club is supposed to be about? The literature club is really beginning to take form. But with that, the weight on Monika's shoulders only becomes heavier. Debate club was always about rigid structure, formulating airtight points and counterpoints and delivering them with such conviction. It was about the person on the outside. That's why Monika was so good at it. It existed entirely within her realm of comfort. It's suffocating. I need to break through this mental wall. I need to learn to express myself for real. Monika pulls out a sheet of paper and grabs her pen. She presses the tip of the pen firmly against the paper. But her hand doesn't move. Instead, a tiny blot of ink collects around the tip of her pen. Oh, that sucks. Monika lifts her pen and stares at the little blotch. For some reason, she feels compelled to run her finger across it. As she does so, the black ink smears across the paper, ruining Monika's canvas. Ugh. Out of spite for herself, Monika presses her pen down once again, letting the ink collect. I think I did this with a sign pen. Yeah. She creates a second smear on the paper. Nice. Come on, Monika. Just move your hand. Monika writes. This is what I get for seeking perfection. A stain. Oh, no. Monika slides the paper away from her and puts her head down on the desk. No, Monika! Monica, the air conditioner seems louder today. It does make a huge noise when the room's quiet. I'm here. Hi. Monica hears Sayori approach her desk, then stop for a second, probably reading the piece of paper. Then, she sits down on the adjacent desk. Bad day? Mm-hmm. Me too. So we're basically best friends. You too? The new flyer looks so good. You've been working so hard. On the club, but also something else, I think. I can't do it. I'm sorry. It's so hard to just be vulnerable. Sayori takes the sheet of paper from Monica's desk. She writes something down, then stares at it for a while. Can I trust you? Of course. You can trust me with anything. And then she breaks that trust in the beginning with Monica. But then again, yeah. Sayori gazes at Monica with sadness in her eyes. Understanding the signal, Monica takes the paper from Sayori's desk and reads it. Sometimes I want to die. Oh no! This is the backstory. Sayori, this is really, really hard for me. Her voice shakes. So if I can do it, then you can too. Because you're like a million times better than me. She's crying. That's completely not true. Sayori takes a deep breath, trying to steady herself. That's something about me that I've never told anyone before. Even now, my head is like screaming at me to stop. Wait, you don't have to force yourself. I mean, just because of the promise yesterday, I want to. It just feels right. I mean, maybe it's part of the reason I came to this club in the first place. This is the literature club. I trust you more than I'm scared. At those words, Monica stands up. Sayori must have taken days to work up the courage for this. Were Monica's own futile but genuine efforts actually the push that Sayori needed? Sayori's deliberate breaths can be heard over the air conditioner. As she prepares herself to continue, Monica waits in gentle silence. I have this problem where I get really upset when people worry too much about me. I can't control it. It's like, why waste your energy worrying about me when you can just be happy instead? This is her poem. So, I never tell anyone about these kinds of thoughts that I have. Yeah, this is in line with her character. It's so much easier to just smile and help everyone else be happy. But that's terrible. That's what Monica wants to say. But she stops herself in fear of saying the wrong thing. It's just that if everyone knew about it, they wouldn't treat me the same anymore. Like whenever I'm not smiling, everyone would worry about me and ask me what's wrong. I know that because it used to be like that. Sayori pauses, seeming to recall something in the past. I just want everyone to be happy. That's the most important thing to me. And letting people look inside my head doesn't bring happiness to anyone. Oh, Sayori's so cute and that's so... Sayori pauses again, her solemn expression making her look almost like an entirely different person. How did you find the courage to tell me this? You're not worried that I'll be one of those people too? I am worried. Part of me really hates myself for doing this. But another part of me, I think, just felt like it would be different this time. Whenever we talk about what the club is supposed to mean, I kept feeling like it was right for me to do. Especially after you've been trying so hard to express yourself too. It's just made me feel like I could say it in confidence. And our friendship doesn't have to change. Hahaha. It's so silly. The club is only 2 people, but it already means this much to me. Oh, Sayori. Monica feels a tightening sensation in her heart. A feeling of connection as Sayori's emotions radiate between them. Me too. I was so lost until you showed up. You're so brave, Sayori. You're so strong and brave, I don't even compare. Monica steps forward. But if nothing else, I can at least offer you some hug energy, if you'd like. Oh, they hugged. Wordlessly and without a smile, Sayori rests her forehead on Monica's shoulder. Through their contact, Monica can almost feel the torrent of thoughts swimming in Sayori's head. And in this moment, enchanted by the air of the club, oh, that's some good BGM right there. That's beautiful. Monica realizes that all of the days that have passed, this is the one where she really, really hopes that nobody new walks through the door. She speaks softly. You're like the sweetest girl I've ever met. You can say anything, I'll never judge you. I promise. Sayori's breath begins to quiver. She takes several deep breaths, trying as hard as she can to start speaking, to say the things she never once dared to say out loud. Finally, she speaks in a choked voice. I'm so worthless. I'm worthless and everyone would be better off without me. She suppresses a sob as a tear falls down her cheek. I'm just an inconvenience to everyone. Sayori. I'm not good at anything, and it just feels like everyone just has to put up with me, and I hate it. I hate it. The more Sayori speaks up, the more she fails to control her voice, falling victim to the overwhelming sadness clutching at her throat and chest. I don't want to have these thoughts. I want them to go away, and now I'm making you put up with me, and I just want to die. No, Sayori. As soon as Sayori loses her composure, Monica becomes determined to keep her on. She only wants to be what Sayori needs right now, so she won't let any sadness show. Her voice comes through as soft and gentle. This isn't putting up with you. It's just being your friend. Monica offers a few words of comfort, but she knows Sayori said it herself, that the thoughts Sayori experiences are ones that don't belong, and Monica can't magically make them go away. The most she can do is help Sayori battle them like any good friend will do. You have so much value to me and your other friends too. This club wouldn't have been the same without you. I really, really mean that. You coming here was the best thing that could have happened. Even if we never got any other members, I would still be happy. That's what you brought here. You brought us a vision and you also brought happiness. And that's your favorite thing to do, right? Sayori doesn't respond, but Monica feels her gently nod. No more words are needed between them. Trust. I get it. The two share their embrace for a while longer. Monica letting Sayori take as much time as she needs. Once her breathing steadies and her sniffles fully cease, Sayori lifts her head and wipes her eyes. I guess I needed that. Some days are harder than others. Well, I'm here whenever you need me. But any other time, I'll make sure that things are the way they usually are. If that's what makes you happy. Thanks. You're the best. No, you are. The two exchange smiles. You know, I'm sorry to bring this up all of a sudden, but have you considered talking to a professional? Sayori nods. It's scary, since it's already so hard to tell people. Yeah, well, of course it will always be your choice. But if you're ever looking to find the courage for it, I can do my best to help you. Thanks. I think it helps knowing that you would. Sayori suddenly yawns and stretches. Wow, that made me tired. And hungry. Hahaha. Well, I won't make you do any work today if you're not up for it. No, I want to. I mean, I can say that it's definitely one thing that makes me happy. Monika smiles. But I might want to get a snack first. All of a sudden, the sound of the door causes the two of them to turn their heads. The door opens halfway, then stops. A face peeks inside. A face that seems familiar. It's Yuri! She comes in. We unlock new pictures. That was it. Yeah, Yuri's the next one. I knew it. It's so cute. Yuri's the book person. And then they get the manga. Look at that. A scene from the side story. Trust. Just Monika. Let's make this our new wallpaper. Look at that. Is one of these like 1, 2, 3, 4? Okay, so maybe it's just 6. The next one's Natsuki. I guess. Yeah, maybe that's the thing. No, this is yeah, this is Sayori and Yuri. Sayori and Yuri, Sayori and Yuri, Sayori and Yuri. So maybe each one is like a side story. So this one's Sayori and Yuri. How about the Monika and Sayori, right? Anyway, let's go through the next side story and then we can unlock the rest. Or is there a specific? I don't know. Maybe we should unlock all of them. And I mean, we might break the continuity. I want to unlock all of them because it might appear as is. Yeah. Let's unlock them. Let's go for an unlock. Here we go. We go into the main story. Doki, Doki. Settings. Okay, cool. Of course, our name. Here we are. Hey! Okay, anyway, let's skip a bit. Let's save right here. The beginning. This one shouldn't change. Yeah, we won't be changing this one. This is where we begin, right? Wait, how do we go back? Oh, just return. Okay. Here we are. And then let's just skip because we've already gone through this. We want to unlock as many as we want. So first we're gonna go for Sayori's story, right? We're gonna go through it. We're gonna go for a quick unlock. Speed run. This is it. So Sayori invites us. The friend, we're the friend. There's Monika. Yes. Look at this speed. It's like an actual anime, like moving around. It's kind of cute anyway. Alright. Then we have our first one. Let's save here first. This is the first poem. We need to get it correct. We need to go full Sayori here. Play. Excitement. Giggle? No, okay, load game. We need to make the perfect one for Sayori. That's why. Kawaii. No. I forgot. Natsuki's the otaku here. We gotta go with flower. Smile. Play. Silly. Let's save here. So far, so good. Oh wait, I forgot. We had the cheat sheet. Wait. Let me just take a screenshot of it first. We need to go back to the main menu. There's a cheat sheet. I forgot. Yeah, you're right here. Game? No, internal, right? No, it's insecure directory. Okay. Cool. Game. Poem words. No. Internal. No. Characters. No, wait, it's gone. Is it this one? It's all gone. Wait. Meeting notes. What? Test. Meeting notes 1. This is a virtual box, right? Wait, the thing, it disappeared anyway. There should be an online cheat sheet, right? We want Sayori. I mean, we already finished it once. I just forgot the screenshot, so it's fine. We're not cheating. I mean, it's a cheat sheet, so I guess we are technically. Oh, it does it all again. Okay, okay. So obviously Bliss. Uh, 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 Lazy, of course. Pure. No! Happiness. Not suicide. It's adventure. Special. What's the next one? Um, Charm. Yeah, it's prayer. And then is fun one of this? Yeah, fun. It's playground one of this. It's not. How about lucky? Yeah, lucky. That's one of her words. I'm going through an online cheat sheet here, guys. Don't worry about it. Of course. Is it shame? No. Can't be. Oh wait, it is. What? Precious. Yeah, it is. How about cry? It is. So she's very emotive. Yeah. She also likes family. Is she pure? Pure is not one of her words. Oh, of course, also not despise. That doesn't seem like Sayori at all. Melody. How about breathe? It's not. Bliss. Yes. Sensation. It's not. Okay. Childhood. Yes. Because she's a child. Lipstick. No, that doesn't seem like her. Unrequited. Yeah. Apparently, this is a word for her. That's interesting. Of course not. Flea. How about awesome? Yeah, she's awesome. That's no. Pickle? No. Sweet. No, that seems like a Natsuki thing, but that's also hers, I guess. Crimson. Nope. Friends? Yes, she likes friends. Sticky. Nope. Unstable. Nope, of course. Death. No, that's. Oh wait, it's her word. Oh my gosh, shopping. Shopping. Nope. Existence. Nope. Strawberry. No, that's it's not Suki's thing. Laugh. Yeah, of course. Marriage. Mariage. Yeah. Nice. There we go. Perfect Sayori. We even got the thing, the achievement. We gotta save. Gotta save. This is the Sayori route right here. Hi again, Seth. Let's see. You didn't run away on us. Nah, don't worry. Okay, let's see how let's see how, man, it looks like no so down the nearest desk. Let's see. This is not yet the thing. This is still the generic. I find myself smiling. Sorry, so there we go. Unlike me, who has trouble finding any motivation at all, Sayori can put her mind to things and make them come to life. I suppose that's why I ended up letting her get on my case about things. I can't help but wonder what it'll be like to see the world through her eyes. That was Sayori jump scare. My defense, Sayori's face filling my vision. It's a jump scare by Sayori. Sayori jump scare. I nearly fall out of my chair. Sorry. Oh wait, we've seen this already. I remember this one. Yeah, this is the part. Yeah, we didn't see the next one. I think the one after that. That's the one we need to see. The scene after that. So this is still the same. Let's just show it specifically to Sayori. I'm definitely most comfortable with sharing it to Sayori first. She's my good friend after all. Oh. Oh my goodness, this is so good, Seth. I love it. I had no idea you were such a good writer. Sorry. Not a good writer at all. Okay. Yeah, she's saying the same things. I'm sure Yuri's opinion has to be a little more constructive. Maybe the second one, since we didn't get to that point, will be different. Are you sure you don't like it just because I wrote it? Yeah? Well, I'm sure that's part of it. I think I understand you better than a lot of other people, you know, so whenever... yeah. Yep. You're so weird, Sayori. Yep, she is. Yep. Here we go. Dear Sunshine. I trust you too. Yeah, I want breakfast, yeah. We've gone through this. The same thing with Monika. Hi, Seth. Having a good time so far? Yeah. Yep. Okay. Hole in the wall. Yep. You've seen this. Yep. You've seen all of these. Yep. But the next one will be different because we'll be yeah, I can't skip this. Yeah, that means yeah, it's something I haven't seen before. Well, it's about what I expected from someone like you. That's a little blunt. Well, excuse me. It's not like I said it was bad. It just didn't evoke any emotions. So basically, it's not cute enough for your tastes. You want to get smacked? I'll pass. Well, anyway, I guess I need to show you mine. Not that you'll like it. Eagles can fly. Yeah, we've seen this one. Yep, and then we can skip. Oh, okay, so I have the thing where Yuri. Let's see if we can skip this. We can. That means we've seen this text before. Ghost under the light. Yes. Got it. Whew. Anyway, that one's done. We've seen these before because we can skip them. Help me, Sayori. This is Sayori route. That's where we're gonna go with Sayori. Full throttle. Sayori. You can't skip. Oh, wait, we can still skip. Wait, let's check the settings. Skip options. No, we don't want to skip unseen text. So we're gonna leave those. Okay, skip on. Okay, good. So we gotta go with Sayori again. So let me just save first. We might make a mistake. You never know. Is Ocean? Yes. How about Unrequited? Yes, apparently I remember that one. Whistle. Nope. Holiday. That sounds like yeah, it is a Sayori word. Vanilla, no, that's not Suki word from what I remember. Tragedy, yes. Unending. No, it's unrequited. Only childhood, yeah. Heart. Yes. Tears. Wow. Much sadness. Much sadness, Sayori. Wait, yep. Entropy. Sorry, I got into the music. Nope, that's not her word. Fantasy is also not hers. How about despise? Nope. Covet? Nope. That's not a Sayori word. Extreme, I guess. Nope. Sensation? It's still no. Amazing, yes. I remember amazing. That's for sure. After image, no. Rose. Yeah, rose is apparently her word. How about rainbow? Yeah, that's also her word. No, not rain. Oh wait, what? It's also her word? Okay. Interesting. How about passion? Yes. Lipstick. I don't think lipstick is her word, right? Yeah. Spinning seems more like a Sayori thing, but apparently it's not. How about graveyard? No. Incongruent is a Yuri word. Pure is not her word. Which is kinda also not suicide. How about horror? No, that's a Yuri word as well from what I remember. Tenacious. Nope. Breathe? No. Destiny. What? It's not here. This is difficult. Not one word here is one of her words. Interesting. Tenacious. Horror. No, it's not. No. Incongruent. I swear. If incongruent is a word for her, no. She doesn't have a letter I word. Interesting. Not a graveyard word. She only has one graveyard. No, G word. Horror, no, that's a Yuri word. Tenacious. Not hers. Lipstick is also not here. I guess this is over, right? Breathe. Knew it. I knew it. Kiss. That was over. It wasn't there. That's not it. Candy. Nope. Nope. Climax here as well. Vitality. Nope. Hair. Nope. Peaceful. Yep. Just for peaceful. Melancholy. Nope. Ocean. Yes. Tenacious. Music. Yeah, music is her word. Covet. No. Vivid. No. No. Twirl. No. Puppy. No. Variance. No. Unstable. Nope. Nightgown. I don't see it here on the list, so I guess not. They probably added new words. I don't know. Marshmallow. Yeah, there's some words that are not. I'm just not seeing it. Incapable. I don't know. Fireflies. Yes. Infinite. No, depression apparently. Secretive. Nope. Bubbles. I mean, marriage is her word too. Fireworks apparently yes. How about after image? No. Insight? No. Fluffy. No. Analysis? No. Journey? No. What? Passion? Yes. Universe? No. Papa? Nope. Vibrant? Vibrant. I don't see it here. Smile? Yes. I'm sure smile is the word. Childhood? Yes. Right? No, it's not. Shame. I don't see no shame. Oh wait, there is. Sparkle. Yes. Swimsuit? No. Vit. Covet. No. Chocolate. No, that's this one's Natsuki, obviously. Philosophy. Nope. Lust. Nope. Milk. I think that's a Natsuki word. I have a feeling. Death. Yes. Hopeless. No. Agonizing. Nope. Determination. I don't think so. I don't think determination is our thing here. Yeah, rain cloud. Pleasure. Nope. Judgment. That's a good song from Yakuza. I like that one. Forgive. F. Forgive. Yes. Heart. Yes. Unstable. No. Bliss. I know bliss, right? Yeah, bliss. Whirlwind. I don't know. Oh, precious. Yeah, precious is our word. Peace. No, peaceful is the word, but not that one. Eternity. Empty. Excitement. Headphones. No. Giggle. I don't know. Hop. Vertigo. No. Bunny. Bunny. What about nature? Yeah, nature is the word apparently. Tenacious. Nope. Ambient? No. Sadness. Nope, not sadness. Oh, no, yeah, the thing. Silly, no. Not suicide, not massacre. She's not that weird. I mean, she's not that kind of person. Valentine, I'm not sure. Existence? Extraordinary, empty. Whistle. Supplies. If I can't find anything, we can just go with Beast? No, sorry. Let's go back from the start. Tenacious, nope. Ambient, nope. Existence, nope. Sadness. Ah, there we go. It's getting harder actually, but okay. We can keep on going. We can keep on going. The word here is is it tears? No. Yes, it's tears. Then here, amazing, of course. Yeah. We got another perfect Sayori poem right there. We're actually doing it. Another day passes, and we gotta save. We got the cheat sheet from the when we cleared it from the first time. Yeah, we can't skip the ones we haven't seen yet, so the skip will stop, and then I'll read from there. Okay. Suddenly, the door swings open. Wait, I guess I'll skip. Okay, there, we can't skip. It's blackout. Seth! Sayori suddenly comes up to me. I'm gonna go get some supplies from another classroom. Want to come with me? Supplies? What for? Well, you know how the festival is coming up? Me and Monika were gonna make some posters and stuff. So I need to go find some crayons and markers and glue sticks. Ah, I see. Sure, I'll go with you. Yay! Okay, Monika, we'll be back soon. Ah, are you going with Seth to get the supplies? There's no need to trouble yourself. I'd be happy to go with him. But I wanted to go. It's so much fun exploring empty classrooms and stuff. Okay. Knowing they have a bond of trust kinda puts a perspective here, you know? It was just a suggestion. See if you can find poster paper too, okay? Okay. Ready, Seth? Yep, let's go. Sayori and I exit the club room. I follow behind as Sayori hums and skips around the hallway. Honestly, it feels like I'm taking a kid to the mall or something. Sayori finds pleasure in the simplest things sometimes. Hey Sayori, what exactly are we doing for the festival anyway? I'm not sure how you would make an event out of literature. Me and Monika have it all planned out. Don't you worry. Is that so? Yep. We're gonna do a poetry performance. A performance? Of what kind? Well, everyone is gonna take turns on stage and recite their favorite poems. Ah, that sounds kind of dull. Seth, you're not thinking about it the right way at all. It's not just about reading poems. It's about performing them. Like you say the lines of the poem like, between my feet, the last remaining flower beckons to me. I twist the stem, freeing it from its clinging roots. Wait, that's her poem from the side story. Caressing the final joyous moment between my fingers. But to what ends have I summoned this joy? For now, when I look in every direction, the once prosperous field before me is but a barren wasteland. Wait, that's like a continuation. Like that. Sayori? How do I put this? I'm sure it's just me, but it's impossible for me to take you seriously when you talk like that. You meanie. I'm working super hard on this, you know? Ah, I know. I just meant that it's a pretty and ordinary contrast to your cute self. Don't say that, it's embarrassing. But I guess that means I'm doing a good job. Yeah, I guess so. I'm so excited. The festival is going to be so much fun. Sayori spins herself around the hallway again. Hey Seth, this classroom over here is empty. Let's begin the mission. The mission, eh? It's been a long time since I've spent time with Sayori like this. But in the end, she hasn't changed one bit. She's nothing but a ball of sunshine, drawing happy vibes from around the world, or from the world around her. It's a pretty nostalgic feeling for me. As the years went by, I began to hold myself up in my room more and more. So going adventuring with Sayori brings about a special sort of feeling I forgot I had in me. Interesting. The two of us enter the classroom. This is the difference between clubroom and classroom. Classroom has a blackboard. The clubroom has storage room with a weird schedule that changes to a certain background. So Sayori heads straight to the closet and I follow. Let's see what we have in here. Crayons! Sayori pulls a box full of crayons off the shelf. They're the best brand too, Crayola. They're kind of dirty though. Sayori starts pulling various crayons out of the box, reading the color names. Alright, that's one down. Don't get distracted, we still need to find... Wait, I'm looking for my favorite color. Fine. Then at least move aside so I can look for the poster paper. I dropped one by accident. Smack. Yeah. Why did I do that in that voice? Sayori bends over and smacks her forehead right into the shelf. She falls to the floor and the crayons spill all over her lap. Ow. You okay? My forehead. Sorry, Sayori clutches her forehead. Geez, Sayori, that's just like you, isn't it? Come on, let me see. Since Sayori's sitting on the floor, I grab her by the waist and pull her out of the closet. You have to move your hands, Sayori. But it hurts. Just do it for a second. Sayori slowly releases her hands from her forehead. I gently brush her bangs to the side. Ow. Sorry. Sorry. That was right. There's a huge red mark on the center of her forehead. That's like direct hit. A bump is starting to form as well. And that's gonna swell up. I should find you some ice. Where would I even find ice around this time? The cafeteria. I guess a cold drink will do. You don't have to. I'm fine with looking like a unicorn. Even wincing from the pain, Sayori makes a silly joke. Yeah, she's trying to make it funny. What are you saying? I'll be right back, okay? Okay. I pat Sayori on the shoulder and run out into the hallway. I locate the nearest vending machine. What should I get? It doesn't really matter since it will be used as an ice pack rather than to drink. But I know Sayori likes apple juice, so I purchased that one. In just a moment, I'm already returning to the classroom where I left Sayori. Oh yeah. She has one palm on her forehead and is using the other hand to clumsily scoop crayons back into the box. I don't think... At least they were in the wrong spots before I spilled them. She's actually rearranging the crayons. I used to do that too. Sayori, here. I hand Sayori the bottle of apple juice. It's nice and cold. Sayori opens the cap and starts drinking from it. Sayori, what are you doing? It's for your forehead, baka. Tare. Sorry, I forgot. How hard did you hit your head? Sayori places the bottle against the bump on her head. It stings. Just bear with it. It'll feel better soon. It looks like you cleaned up most of the crayons, so that's good. Hey, Seth. This kind of reminds you of growing up, doesn't it? What do you mean? You know how we used to play outside all the time? I would always try to keep up with you. You were kind of oblivious in some ways. Like, I usually fell behind or had trouble climbing on the things you did. But sometimes, when I tried to do things I couldn't, I would get myself hurt. I'd fall and scrape myself or get a bump. And I would start crying really hard. And you would rush over as quick as you could. You would try really hard to get me to stop crying. It's almost like you blamed yourself and were afraid of getting in trouble if someone found out. Even though it really wasn't your fault at all, you know? Did I really do that? I guess I would. I mean, false flag operations are pretty scary, yo. Yeah, you don't remember? Come to think of it, maybe I do remember a bit. I guess I was always so focused on my games that I didn't pay enough attention to you. So in a way, it was my fault. Kind of like this time too. If I wasn't rushing you out of the closet, you probably wouldn't have hit your head. Yep. Seth, I don't think you realize it, but you're always thinking about other people. Even after all these years. You're rushing out to help me, even though I'm just being clumsy. You're really a sweetheart. Don't call me that. And I don't really do this kind of thing all the time. I guess when it comes to you, it just feels natural. Before I even know it, I'm treating you like that. I guess that's what happens when you've been friends for so long. Really? Maybe you're right, Seth. I'm so glad that nothing's changed between us. Do you think it'll be like this forever? Forever? If I'm honest to myself, there's no telling where we'll each end up for college or after that, or where she'll be hanging out at. So it wouldn't be fair for me to make any promises. But, well, I hope so. It's been this long already, right? I can't imagine you ever changing, so my hopes are up. I'm so happy. Sayori has a whimsical expression in her eyes. We remain silent for a moment. She's so silly and clumsy on the outside that when I see her deep in thought like this, it makes me not want to disturb her. I guess we should go back. I don't want to worry Monika. Good luck with that. She's gonna see her forehead either way. Not if I hide it under my bangs. Yep. She can get away like that. Sayori hops to her feet. She clutches her forehead again. Don't stand up so fast after hurting yourself. Well, I guess it's too late now. Anyway, let's go. I follow Sayori out of the classroom. Sayori plays with her bangs to try to hide the bump, but without much success. In a moment, we make it back to the club room. I keep saying classroom. You're back. Good timing. I was just about ready to start with sharing our poems. Sayori, your forehead. She's fine, don't worry about. I was playing with the crayons and smacked my forehead into the shelf. Well, anyway, were you able to find everything we needed? I have it right. Sayori frantically glances around her stuff. I forgot all of the stuff. Calm down, Sayori. I have it all right here. I found the poster paper too. Hahaha. Sounds like you ended up doing all the work, Seth. Well, Sayori... I failed to come up with an excuse for Sayori. I made it an adventure! Yeah, that. Okay. In any case, good work. I'll start working on the posters tonight. Me too. Okay, everyone. Are you ready to share your poems? Yes, I should grab mine. After making sure the crayon box is closed tightly, I return to my seat. Here it is, dudes. Let's save here. Let's first show it to Sayori, and then of course Seth? I really love your poems. I can't believe you've been hiding these from me. I'm not hiding anything, but... Excuse me. Sneezed. Your poems are so good. Yesterday's and this one's too. You can't tell me you haven't done this before. I have. I mean, you're really the only one who feels that way, so... No way. Not even Natsuki? Well, I guess Natsuki is the least likely to admit how much she likes something. But I don't think it's that. What do you mean? Well, I guess I'll be honest about it. It's a lot easier to write poems when I'm thinking about you. Smooth moves right there, yo. Well, stop thinking weird things, baka. Or idiot. I just mean that you're a really expressive person, I guess. How am I supposed to write poems about my own stupid life? But you somehow make everything in your life an adventure. Even the little things. Like cooking. Let's not talk about that. So yeah, I guess what I'm saying is that I can feel more feelings through you than I can through myself. You have that kind of weird connection. It's your fault for getting in my business all the time. I don't know if I understand. You never understand when I try to explain things to you, do you, Sayori? I pat Sayori's head. Hey, I'm not a kid, you know. Are you sure about that? Favorite phrase. Maybe. Sayori starts fiddling with her pencil between her hands. Hey Seth, will you give me your poem? I kinda wanna keep it. Huh? Why? Because, well, it's the first time you've written something for me. Sayori, you completely misunderstood. I didn't write this for you. Are you even listening to anymore? Well, whatever. I'll give it to you when we go home. Really? Snap. Ah, I broke my pencil. Sayori hastily bends down to pick up the piece she dropped, but being inattentive of her surroundings, she bumps right into me. Sorry. It's fine, it's fine. I'll get it for you. I bend down and pick up the broken pencil. Sayori clutches the desk beside her to support herself, knees shaking. I'm a little clumsy today. Let's sit down, Sayori. You gotta calm down, girl. Yeah. Yeah, this girl should calm down. You should. Let me just drink some water here. I grab Sayori's arm and help her sit at the desk. Anyway, I still haven't read your poem. Oh, sorry, I forgot about that, but it's not as good as yours. Jeez, don't worry, I'm sure I'll like it. Bottles, I pop off my scalp like the lid of a cookie jar. It's a secret place where I keep all my dreams, little balls of sunshine. I think I've seen this before. And then, do I? Little balls of sunshine, all rubbing together like a bundle of kittens. I reach inside with my thumb and forefinger and pluck one out. It's warm and tingly, but there's no time to waste. I put it in a bottle to keep it safe, and I put the bottle. Yeah, we have seen this. Happy thoughts, yep. Yeah, friends weren't smiling, huh? Holy crap. Sayori, did you really write this? Of course I did. Didn't I tell you yesterday I was gonna write the best poem ever? Yeah, but, I mean, I didn't expect something like this coming from you. Monika taught me a whole lot. And I've been really in touch with my feelings recently. I see that. It's almost kind of creepy. Creepy? Well, not exactly. Maybe because I'm so used to you being cheerful. Well, never mind. I'm thinking too hard about it. The point is, it came out good, so you should be proud of it. Aw, thanks. I feel like I was meant to express. Oh wait, we've seen this. We can skip. Our rule is if we can skip, we skip. Monika. Yes, we have seen this. We're trying to unlock the other side stories here so we can, keep on reading them. Natsuki? Have you seen this one? No. Well, it's not really any worse than your last one, but I can't really say it's any better either. Whew. Huh? For what? Well, anything that isn't a train wreck, I'll take as a win. I get the feeling you're probably the most critical. Hey, what makes you... Wait, maybe that was a compliment. Glad to see someone recognizes my experience. Well then, keep practicing and maybe you'll be as good at me someday. That's, something tells me Natsuki completely missed the point. She did. Come to think of it, this kind of reminds me of Sayori's poem from yesterday. Huh? You think so? Yeah. Well, I guess if you've been friends with her for so long, you might be on the same wavelength. Ooh. I'm using the cheat sheet from finishing the game. But you never really struck me as her type. Sayori as a type all of a sudden? Well, I don't know. But honestly, how can someone so fluffy spend so much time with someone like, you? It's like she's dragging around dead weight. That was a little unnecessary. But think of it this way. If it weren't for me, she'll probably just fly away like letting go of a balloon. You could say we each take care of each other in our own way. Whatever it is, I don't get it. I'm supposed to show you my poem. Here. Okay, we've seen this. The Amy likes spiders. That didn't change. And we can skip. That's good. And the last one is Yuri. Are you still mad at me? Huh? For disrespecting Natsuki yesterday. Because reading this poem, now I know why you got mad at me. Because you prefer her writing over mine. That's not really true. Meaning when I disrespected her, I disrespected you too, didn't I? Oh no, Yuri. You might be reading into this a little too much. How could I be so stupid? How I always let these things happen. Whenever I think before I speak, I just come off as awkward and unlikable. But if I speak without thinking, the things I want to keep inside come out and make people hate me. So please don't force yourself to be around me. I know this is what Monika wants, but it's not fair to you when you could be enjoying your time with Natsuki and Sayori. Yuri? Please. Makes it easier for me if you don't express any concern. Besides, I have my books with me. That's all I need. Yuri smiles sadly and puts her head down on her desk. I'm frustrated. I don't hate her, but it's as if she's not capable of listening to me over her own thoughts. I sigh to myself. All I can do is accept that that's how she is. If she wants to be left alone, then I have no choice but to abide to that request. Yep. Okay, everyone. We're all done reading each other's poems, right? I have something extra planned today, so if everyone could come sit at the front of the room. Is this about the festival? Well, sort of. Do we really have to do something? Oh wait, we can skip this. We skip if you skip, guys. We skip if we skip. We didn't get to see Yuri's poem there. I stand up. Oh, we can still skip. We can still skip. We should walk home with Sayori, right? Since we're gonna go full Sayori route for this one. You really think I will ditch you for Yuri? We've seen this. If we go Yuri route, then we go the Yuri route. Okay, let's save here. Uh-huh. Hopeless, of course. How about Fester? That ain't it. Childhood, yes. What pout? Nope. Sunny is a word. Wait. I double clicked there. Again. Beauty. Socks? Spinning. Nope. Obviously not spinning. Misery. Yeah, that's her word. Not swimsuit, of course. Crimson? Nope. Atone, no. It's alone for Sayori. Her word is alone, not atone. Sensation, no. That's not one of her words. Imagination, I guess? Nope, still not one of her words. She doesn't have a letter I word. Misfortune, yeah. Music, yes. Sweet. No, this, wait, what? It's her word too? Okay, sure. Awesome, yeah. Nightgown. No, I don't think so. How cute. It's not her. It's not her thing. What summer? Summer? That's not her word too. What? Explode. Nope, it's not her word. Not, of course not essence. How about ribbon? Nope. Heaven sent. No. Fun? Yeah, fun. Not kawaii. How about determination? Romance? Yes. Anger. No. Harm? Yeah. Flower. Yeah, flower is one of them. How about childhood? Yes. Uncanny, no. Special is her word here. How about blanket? No. Tears? Yes. Eternity. Embrace eternity. No. How about contamination? Still nope. Nah, she's not Sudoku. What dreaming? No, hers is daydream. Raindrops? Nope. Hers is rain cloud. Pretty sure Cage is Natsuki. And then there's peaceful, yeah. Tragedy. What precious? Yeah, it's her too. Sparkle. Yes. No, not analysis. How about family? I think it was family, right? Yeah, family. Waterfall. Nope. Was it journey? No. Forgive, right? Yeah, I was right. Just forgive. And then the next one is empty. There you go. We did it. Another perfect Sayori poem. Oh man. I'm the last one here again. Don't worry, I just walked into. Were you practicing the piano again? Yeah. Hahaha. You must have a lot of determination. Starting this club and now picking up the piano. Well, maybe not determination, but I guess passion. Remember that the club wouldn't be here if it wasn't for all of you. And I'm super happy that you're all willing to help out for the festival too. I can't wait for the festival. It's gonna be great. Eh? Weren't you complaining about it? Oh wait, we can skip this. If we can skip, we skip. I forgot that's a rule. For just unlocking the extra cutscenes. Of course, we show it to Sayori first. We've seen this. How about show Monika? Hi Seth. Okay. Hahaha. It's kind of funny. How so? No, not the poem. I mean, it's funny how your poems and Sayori's poems have been getting more and more similar to each other every day. I'm surprised you're so in sync with her. Then again, you've been spending a lot of time together lately, haven't you? I guess you could say that. Although we kind of grew up as best friends, I haven't been seeing as much of her this past year. But since I joined the club, we've been spending a lot of time together again. I see. That reminds me about how Sayori's been a little bit off today. Yeah, did she tell you something? Well, Seth, you haven't been flirting with her, have you? Oh, of course not. Yes, we have. I've been treating her like I always do. Alright, just making sure. I know how much you care about her. It will be terrible if something bad happened to her, so keep an eye on her. Monika, Sayori's been acting so much happier ever since you joined the club. What could have happened all of a sudden? Well, never mind. This really isn't the time to be talking about this. Anyway, and we can skip again. The lady who knows everything. You know, okay. Natsuki. This one's alright. Alright. Yeah, not as good as yesterday's anyway. I see what you're going for, but it's just not really my style. I mean, that's fine. I'm mostly just glad that you're trying a little bit. Well, of course I'm at least trying. Why are you so emotionally invested in my poems anyway? Isn't that more of a compliment to me? No. Kimo. It's not like I care. It's just that one of us in this club has to make sure you're not slacking off. Really? Well, what if you ended up just scaring me away? That's, it's not like you would actually do that. Yeah, you're right. It's kind of fun to hang out here, even if I have to put up with you. Ooh, shots fired. Natsuki's elbow connects with my stomach. Oh, maybe I won't mind scaring you away after all. I was just joking. Oh, I know. Don't worry, I was too. How the hell do you call that a joke? That seriously hurt. Well, maybe it was funny to her. I guess that's kind of the point. I should really just watch my mouth around Natsuki. Yes, you should. Anyway, Natsuki holds her palm out to me like nothing even happened. Yeah, the beach. Poem. Yeah, we've seen this. And then we can skip. Question is, will Yuri show us her poem? Or will it be different again? Yuri doesn't look too enthusiastic about spending time with me. I guess if she changes her mind, she'll come to me. But I should leave her be for now. Yeah. Yeah, she doesn't show us her poem this time because we didn't talk to her. Natsuki's more friendly, in a way. I'm gonna go with Sayori, of course. We got the same here. I mean, if it's going to be anyone, then I prefer helping Sayori. I mean, we're already neighbors, and Monika said that Sayori was helping her. Jeez, do you really hate us that much? No. Sorry, I didn't mean for this to be difficult. Just think of the club, okay? How about Monika? Well, I guess I should probably be helping Monika. Yay, you picked me! Hold on a second. Yeah. Monika, you're the one. Oh, wait. We skip. Yeah, we just want to unlock the side stories. Okay. We can go with Natsuki for this one. Let's just go with the thing we picked last time so we can just skip ahead. And then let's read the side story we unlocked. This should be good, right? It's ready Sunday. Yeah, this should be good enough for the... Yeah, this should be good enough for the thing. Or do we need to go through the cooking? Just on to make sure we've unlocked the... Yeah, to make sure we've unlocked the side story. We just need to reach the... What do you call it? The Natsuki cooking class. Natsuki cooking class. Let's finish the Natsuki cooking class. And then we have to say yes to Sayori or something. No, this is the moment of truth for this one. Okay. Unlock the CG. And then we save. See, the sound disappeared, so this is it for this round. And then we just put another save here. That means this is all Sayori. Yeah, the hanging. Probably a lot more than you think. Yeah. Get out of my head. Anyway, yeah, let's check the... Yeah. Side stories. Yeah, we did unlock stuff. I was right. We just had to... We unlocked stuff. Okay, let's go to the next side story. I think, yeah, this is the next one. Let's go for the understanding. Trust, understanding. So we'll go for, I guess, after that, the Natsuki route. After this side story. The club meeting is suddenly interrupted by the sound of the door, causing Monika and Sayori to turn their heads. The door opens halfway, then stops. A face peeks inside. A face that seems familiar. Oh. Sayori's eyes widen, recognizing the girl. She very conspicuously mouths to Monika. It's her! It's the girl! It's true. The girl standing in the doorway is none other than the girl Sayori had come across reading alone in a classroom. Thanks to Monika leaving a flyer on her desk, it seems she's found her way to the club. Are you here for the literature club by any chance? Am I in the wrong place? No, you're not. This is the literature club. Please come inside. The girl fully steps in the door, but continues standing against the wall, avoiding eye contact. Sayori continues to fail, containing her excitement. It's happening. Oh my gosh. Thank you so much for coming. Sorry it's a little empty. I'm Monika, and this is Sayori, and we run the literature club. Even though it's just us so far, but what's your name, by the way? I'd like to join your club. Already? Wait, really? Are you sure? I mean, I should be good enough. Haha, everyone is welcome here. You don't have to be good enough. Oh, do you want to have a seat? He'd love to get to know you. The girl nods, sliding over to a nearby desk and gently sitting down. So, what's your name? Yuri. I'm Sayori and this is Monika. Sayori, I already... Nice to meet you. Do you like fantasy? Like books? Yuri looks at Monika. Fantasy is cool. Yes, have you heard of Annabelle Dupont? I can't say I have. Oh well, she's my favorite author. I'm on her 5th book and it's just... Yuri grins and presses her knuckles against her cheeks in joy. You can borrow my books, I wouldn't mind. You're really in for an incredible experience. Monika stammers, caught completely off guard by Yuri taking control of the conversation. She glances sideways at Sayori, silently asking for help. Oh, that's why she becomes Yuri becomes the vice president. Okay. But she was the next one who joined after Sayori. I'd love to. It sounds like you're really into them, so they must be great. I'm so happy I found this club. Oh, I'm so stupid. I left all my other books in my locker. I should have brought them. Yuri quickly stands up. I'll be right back. I'll go get them for you. Uh, you only need to bring one for now. Sayori nervously says that, noting to herself the considerable heftiness of the book that Yuri set down on her desk. It's a big book. True. Okay, I'll go get the first one then. Yuri exits the club room in a flash. I keep on saying classroom, leaving Monika and Sayori silently exchanging glances. Oh my god, I wasn't prepared for this. How do I handle someone so intense? I have no experience with fantasy except maybe stuff that I read when I was a kid. But that's probably like a joke compared to what she's into. I'm sure it'll be fine. In fact, I think it's neat that we have different people who are into different kinds of literature. It'll be fun to learn from each other. Yeah, I mean I don't disagree, but what if this is her only interest? Doesn't it seem kind of like that? Monika, don't you think you should be more optimistic? We have a new club member. There shouldn't be room for anything but being happy. I'm excited to get to know her more, aren't you? Yeah, I guess you're right. Let me just drink some water here, guys. Thanks. Sorry for being so hasty. I just got really anxious all of a sudden. It's because if you're afraid of not being able to take the lead. What the heck? It's kind of scary how you can point things out like that, Sayori. Just like learning what makes people happy or sad. Yeah. Hey, you know what? You'd probably be great at helping Yuri feel comfortable here. Maybe you could take a break from helping me with administrative stuff and just focus on spending time with her. Hey, that's exactly what I want to do. Besides, Sayori lowers her voice, I'm probably gonna need all the time I can get. She taps her finger against the dauntingly chunky book Yuri left sitting on the desk. Right afterwards, the door opens to reveal Yuri's return. I'm back. She's back. She's back, guys. She's back. She is back. Her breath is slightly heavy, which combined with her short time gone indicates she might have ran past at least part of the way. Part of the way, huh? This is some good song, huh? It's like a different one music. She makes her way back over to Sayori and sets the book down on her desk. Now this is music you can vibe with. I know it's still the same BGM, but how it's made, you can vibe it. You can vibe. It's more easy to vibe with this one. Just as Sayori feared, the book Yuri brought for her is just about equal in size to the one already in Yuri's desk. Well, there are probably a few things you should know before getting started on it. There are some things that are more explained in other books that take place in the same universe, so going over those will be good to keep you from getting confused at the start. Sayori nervously interjects. Well, I was thinking that maybe today we could just get to know each other a little bit more. You know, I think if we're gonna be reading together, then I would like that. From across the room, Monika smiles and nods at Sayori while Yuri isn't looking. Oh, okay. Yuri sits down, then looks at her book, then glances around the room, showing no indication that she has anything more to add. So, what made you decide you wanted to join the club? My voice wasn't ready for the Sayori. Well, I like reading, so I was immediately interested. I had no idea that someone was starting a literature club, but that's my fault, since I haven't been paying attention to any of the club recruitment advertisements. I only found out because Yuri glances over at Monika. Monika came into my classroom and put the flyer on my desk. Suddenly, Yuri's face darkens and she shakes her head at herself. I was so stupid. I got too nervous and couldn't even look up, so she just walked out. It took me several days just to come here, because I was afraid that Monika told everyone how inconsiderate I was, but I decided that was probably irrational. Wait. No, that was totally my fault. I felt so bad about interrupting you that I just walked out. I was actually really hoping that you would come by. Yuri exhales in relief. I always seem to interpret things as the worst possible scenario. Well, I was really nervous to come here for some other reasons too, such as there being too many people. Not that I mind that much, but I have a really hard time having to meet a large number of new people at once. So it's actually amazing that it's just the two of you. I definitely came at the right time. That makes me happy. I'm proud of you for working up the courage to come. Yuri smiles warmly to herself. I've never really had the privilege of sharing my interests with others before. It's so hard to find others who are into the same things I am, except online. So I thought the literature club would provide a chance for me to do that. What kinds of other things are you into? Like genres? I don't know, just anything, even if it's not literature. Just things you would think are dumb. Sayori pauses, a look of concern on her face. How about it? I'll tell you about something I'm into, and then you can tell me about something you're into. I suppose that will be okay. Okay. Well, I'm pretty into crafty things. Like making cute little collages or decorating things like cards or jewelry boxes. My room's always cluttered with random stuff because I keep buying things to make gifts for my friends. But then I put it off till the last minute. So yeah, that's something kinda silly that I'm into. You sound quite creative. No, not that much. It's just that you'd be surprised by how much you can do with scissors and glue and stuff. So I have to share something that I'm into now, right? Sayori nods. Well, I guess I'm into nature. I love nature! Monika, I'm going to start a nature club. No, you're not. You're stuck here with me now. I'm not! Oh yeah? Well, I hereby appoint you as Vice President of the Literature Club. What if there's a fanfiction where Monika wasn't able to stop Sayori from making the nature club? Well, there should be. Wait, if there's none, I'll try to come up with a one-shot and just post it. A scenario where Monika wasn't able to stop Sayori's rampage of a nature club. How did it start again? I'm gonna try to use it as a muse. I'll try to make a one-shot. If you guys find it, you'll find out my fanfic handle or something. It might take a while. Maybe I don't know. Depends if I even feel like writing it. But yeah. There. Now you're stuck with me. Hey, don't give me responsibilities. Oh, I'm sorry, Yuri. I interrupted you. Go ahead. It's fine. Yuri pauses, feeling awkward after having gotten cut off. I like going out into the woods or to the park, just places where you can walk or sit and not have any people around. It's peaceful. Just nice to remove yourself from everything that matters and let my racing mind operate autonomously for a while. When do you like to do that? It just depends on my mood. After school on the weekends, whenever I feel like I need it. Wow, I feel like I will never have the time to do something like that. I find that we have a lot more time than we think we do if you don't let it slip through your fingers. The three continue their conversation, led primarily by Sayori, but with Monika chiming in every now and then as well. Monika had intended to leave it to Sayori and focus on her own work, but she found it difficult not to join in. Before they knew it, the end of the day was upon them once more. Oh, it looks like we should be wrapping up for today. So are you two going to be starting on that book the next club meeting? That's the plan! I'm so excited. Sayori beams, Yuri collects her things. Once packed, Yuri wordlessly waves to Sayori and Monika with a gentle smile. Bye! As Yuri exits, Sayori enthusiastically returns her farewell. Once again, Sayori and Monika are left in the club room. Sayori, you're a lifesaver. I didn't do anything, I just talked. Still, besides, really lifted my mood. It feels really nice when I can put my energy toward other people like that. She was really excited to be included, it made me happy. Well, there's no doubt in my mind that she'll have a great time here with you engaging her. How are you feeling about starting the book with her next meeting? I'm kinda scared, but I think she'll be happy as long as I'm trying my best. I think you'll do great. After the surprise of a new club member, It seems like everyone has their spirits lifted with something new to look forward to. Nice. Another school day ends. Swallowing her anxiety, Yuri makes her way to the club room, expecting to be the last one to arrive. As she opens the door, she's surprised to find only Sayori in the club room. It's club time again! Monika went to the computer lab, so it's just us today. Is that okay? Yuri silently nods, unable to make eye contact. I'm sorry about yesterday. Sayori tilts her head, unsure of exactly what Yuri's talking about. Well, I mean, the way I got overly excited to share my books, and how you had to stop me so we could talk first. It was so inconsiderate of me. I got too excited and forgot to think about everyone else in the club, so... Yuri, you didn't do anything wrong. I thought it was cute how excited you were. Oh, smooth, Sayori. Well, still, I think I changed my mind about the book. You don't have to read it. Huh? Why? Because I know that you were just humoring me anyway. In retrospect, it's rather obvious that nobody was truly interested. But if you like it so much, then it must be worth sharing. I've already decided I'll join the club, so you don't have to try so hard to entice me. That's not what I was doing. A moment of uncomfortable silence stretches between the two of them. Well, the thing is, we don't even have any club activities yet. I mean, Monika and I have just been working on recruitment stuff mostly. It just sounded like something fun that we could do together, reading your books. You know, like, as a club activity. That would be okay, right? Why am I being so resistant to this anyway? It's exactly what I wanted in the first place, and you're being so nice about it. I really don't know what's wrong with me. I'm sorry for being like this. You don't have to apologize. Just tell me if there's anything I can do to help you feel more comfortable here. Sayori pulls her desk up against Yuri's and sits next to her. The book in question is already on Yuri's desk. Peering over, Sayori reads the cover of the book. Dusk Bell. Part 1 of the Everlast Saga. Haha, it's Dusk Bell by Annabelle! Sorry, I'm ready now. Alright, I should probably get some paper. Yuri grabs a spiral notebook of hers and tears out a few sheets of paper. Wait, how come you need paper? Oh, it's useful to draw things out sometimes, like maps, timelines, family trees, or just for taking notes. Notes? Yes, that's an effective strategy. Exactly. I'm sure it will be especially helpful for someone new to the genre. Sayori's joke flew completely over Yuri's head. Wait, that was a joke? That also flew completely over my head. But thinking about it, she decides it's probably for the best that it did away. That's an effective strategy. What? This was a joke? Well, I'm not used to having company through this, but I'll try to help make it as accessible as possible. Oh, it's one of those stories or books. There's so many stuff happening that it's hard for newcomers to go in unless they start from volume 1. Or, one of those comic series that have multiple starting points. You don't really know what is which is which anymore. I trust you. You're like super smart. Oh, please. Yuri tries to dismiss the compliment, but she can't hide her smile and light blush. You can't generalize intelligence. I'm only smart in the things I have a lot of experience with. Contrarily, I'm awful at anything involving real people. That should be evident enough for the 2 days I've spent here so far. So in my eyes, it's everyone else who comes off as smart. Especially you. No! Sayori rubs her shoulder against Yuri's. You're such a sweetheart when you're not being shy. Anyway, would you like to get started? Okay. After the minor diversion between them, the two get back on track with their planned club activity. Yuri begins to guide Sayori through the basics of the fantasy world her story takes place in. The more of it she details, the races, factions, history, elements of magic, the more questions Sayori seems to have. But despite Sayori's expectations, Yuri eloquently guides her through it in a way such that it's fun to follow along. It becomes evident that the world-building aspect of the story Not just the story itself, it's one that Yuri finds her passion leaning towards. How do people come up with this stuff? It's like the exact opposite of the kind of writing that I do. There's something we call D&D, and then yeah. What kind of writing? Oh, I like poetry and stuff like that. The things I write are like just putting down the feelings that come into my head, you know? But this is like, there must be so much planning and hard work. Ah, you're into poetry? I think there's an appendix that includes some of the kingdom's written works, like poetry and folk songs. No way! Hahaha. Yuri giggles, filling Sayori's heart with happiness when she realizes it's the first time she's heard Yuri's laugh. It means Yuri must be having fun. It's the bottles. Anyway, I think we can get started reading now if you're ready. Okay, but I can't read very fast. Oh, that's fine. I'm very patient. Patience is something I pride myself in. I see. Sayori jots Yuri is patient into her notes. Hey, that's for the book. I'm just kidding. And I'm kinda glad you're patient, because I need that sometimes. A lot of times. Sayori flips through the first few pages of the book, getting past the table of contents. Okay, chapter 1. The room becomes silent as the two of them begin to read, but the silence only lasts a moment before Sayori speaks up again. What does vindicated mean? Oh, well, in this context, it essentially means that he was proven innocent. It's okay to ask questions, right? Of course. It's like teacher and student. Sayori turns the page. Are these footnotes? A lot of the dialogue has cultural references that require explanation to be understood. The two continue reading. Yuri's relaxed expression remains unchanged. Meanwhile, Sayori's expression grows tense as she tries to make her way through the dense text. Up until now, their expressions had been reversed, with Sayori easily navigating social situations and Yuri struggling in them. But the tables have turned, the turns have tabled. Wait, are they talking about the past right now, or the present? Where? Right here. They're talking about the past. These paragraphs are describing a flashback that Barnes is having. Who the heck is Barnes? They didn't tell me that. It's implied from the context. Sayori rubs her temples. The two of them continue, with Sayori asking fewer questions. No, personally, when I get a book like that, if the transition to the flashback is not obvious or is not natural, you know, and it still feels like I'm reading the present, then that means, you know, personally, for me, it's like badly written. It's like, wait, it's, you know, like suddenly, wait, this was a flashback? Yeah, something like that. She begins to understand the value in the notes as she finds herself referring to them somewhat often and even adding to them. But her reduction in questions comes not from her getting used to the reading, but rather from her fearing that she'll come across as stupid. Oh no, Sayori. Last, Sayori reaches the end of the chapter. I think we can stop here for now. Okay. Sayori takes a deep breath and closes what little of the book she's gotten through so far. So, what are your thoughts up to this point? Sayori tries to find the words. Am I doing well so far? I'm not sure I understand. Well, I don't know. When it takes me so long to read and understand things, it makes me feel really dumb. But I really like how into it you get. It makes me want to keep going and to keep doing my best so I can see it the way you do. The relaxation in Yuri's expression fades. I see. Yuri quietly gathers her things. We can continue tomorrow, right? Yuri pauses, then shakes her head. We can do something else tomorrow. But... I'm sorry. Wait, sorry for what? I don't understand. I'm sorry. I don't want to do this anymore, that's all. I'm sorry that I made you. Yuri leaves. You weren't making me... Sayori is left alone with her words. How did this happen? We were having fun just a second ago. It's my fault. I said something stupid and hurt her. I should have just told her that I enjoyed it. Monika trusted me with this. It's the only thing I'm good at, trust. And I still messed it up. What if she doesn't want to come back? Drowned in guilt, Sayori stares blankly at her desk, spread with notes. The book sits next to them. Right. If she wasn't coming back, then she wouldn't have left the book here, right? Unless she just forgot to take it with her. This is horrible. Was it really because she thought I wasn't enjoying our time together? Oh no, Sayori, your thoughts? It's the, in a certain magical girl anime series, okay, it's Madoka, obviously. This is what we call the depression spiral. Or maybe she wasn't enjoying our time together because I'm not good enough. I probably let her down so much by having trouble following along. Yeah, I'm sure if I was smarter, she would be having so much more fun. I need to do better for her. I see. What pictures did we unlock there? That's how we got that wallpaper. Oh, it's the alternate Sayori. It's from this one, right? No, I'm not sure. Something like that. We unlock the other Sayori stuff. The sketch. Nice. What's this? Oh. Select a car upward. Apparently there are some stuff we gotta do. Interesting. Very interesting. And we've also unlocked... We've unlocked that one, of course. Yeah. The green tea. Cool. We should have unlocked the opening, right? Sorry, the background regarding the school entrance. No. It didn't unlock. So maybe we need to finish more side stories. Now let's read the next one. Understanding Part 2. Part 2. Begin the side story. Yes. Yes, please. Let us begin that. There we are. Let me just... Okay. For the first time, Sayori is the first to enter the club room. Anxiety courses through her relentlessly. Will Yuri show up today? Well, knowing Yuri, she will. I mean, we know what kind of happened, right? Yuri does show up eventually. She does. She should, right? Yeah, she should. She should. Yeah, I think. Probably. I don't know. Hopefully. Sitting at the desk, she stamps her feet in an attempt to calm down. Okay, that was kind of hard to say with the braces, but okay. Why am I letting this affect me so much? Look at her face. She's Sayori is cute. I'm doing everything I can to make Yuri happy, but my best wasn't good enough. Oh, but it was still my best. But I'm letting everyone down. I'm always just a disappointment. Sayori continues to wrestle with her self-depreciating thoughts. Every tiny noise causes her to lift her head in anticipation of Yuri's arrival. Minutes pass and nobody enters the club room. Not Yuri or Monika. Why even Monika? Oh, gosh, I'm so late. Why did I offer to help those other students with their work? I'm such a pushover sometimes. It's going to leave such a bad impression on new club members like Yuri if I'm not the first one there. Monika rounds the corner, approaching the club room. As she does so, Yuri? Ah! Yuri jumps at the sound of Monika's voice. She's sitting outside the club room, against the wall next to the door. Embarrassed, she quickly closes the book she was reading and stands up. Oh gosh, I'm so sorry I'm late. You didn't have to wait outside for me. The door to the club room is open. It's not... Yuri stammers, unable to explain herself. She peers inside the club room through the window, then looks away. Actually... I was wondering if I could help you today instead. Huh? Me? With club publicity stuff? Yes. Monika is utterly confused. Why is Yuri asking this all of a sudden, when she was so eager to spend time with Sayori before? Did they not get along together? Did they not get along after all? Yeah. Monika looks into the classroom herself to see Sayori sitting alone inside. Okay, it's kind of a simple job, but I'd be happy for you to tag along. Me too. Monika is worried, but she finds it difficult to insert herself into whatever conflict that may have arisen. It's a little ironic she realizes that she could be so conflict avoidant after having been in the debate club. Blah. Okay, let's take a walk together. I just have to make copies of this new flyer Then go around to the billboards and replace the old ones with the new ones. Yuri nods and the two set off. The two walk in silence. Without Sayori, Monika finds it quite difficult to strike up a conversation. So, how's everything been going? Fine. That's good. Neither of them follow up with anything more. It's like an awkward conversation. Monika tenses up at the stinted conversation. How the heck does Sayori do it? Sorry I didn't see you yesterday. I went straight to the computer lab to work on the flyers. Sayori told me. What did you two end up doing yesterday? Just some reading. Oh, I'm glad it's really starting to feel more like a literature club now. Yeah, it's kind of funny. I felt so intimidated at first when I heard about the kind of reading you were into. But you know, it's kind of stupid of me because I'm just intimidated by things I'm not good at. And it's still silly to assume that everyone who comes to the club will just have the same interests as me. But it's so cool that you were able to get Sayori into it. It's like the club is working. I'm really happy about that. She's not into it. Huh? She's not into it, and I'm stupid for forcing it onto her. Yuri falls silent again as if she started her thought, but can't figure out how to continue it. Did something happen? Yuri sighs. No, it's just me. Yuri pauses. I'm thinking. Awkward silence. A moment passes in silence, then Yuri shakes her head. I shouldn't be complaining to you all of a sudden. Don't be silly. I won't think you're complaining. I just want to make sure you feel welcome. If it's important to that, then you can tell me anything. Well, I do feel welcome. Too welcome, I guess. It's not an issue with the club. It's just an issue with me. So I feel wrong to inconvenience you with it. Monika pauses and thinks. Well, what if we put it this way? It's my job as president to understand the needs of the club members, right? We're going to have all kinds of people joining this club, hopefully, anyway. And learning about the diverse needs and interests of everyone will help me come up with club activities that everyone can be happy with. That everyone can be happy with? Not just only some people? Of course! I need to be looking out for everyone. Otherwise, what kind of club will it be? I see. Yuri looks a little more relaxed. It signals to Monika that switching from a sympathetic approach to a pragmatic one was a good choice. Sorry. Each individual truly does have their own needs. Okay. Yuri takes a deep breath. I'm a really weird and awkward person. I've accepted that about myself. I just don't know how to, connect with other people. How is it so easy for everyone else? How do you just make conversation about any arbitrary topic? I can talk for hours about the things I'm into. Unfortunately, so much that I don't know when to stop. But for anything else, I just have no idea what to say. So I understand that about myself. I'm just not good with people. I can't help it. So it feels like whenever I'm confronted with a new social situation, I'm either ignored, or made fun of, or taken pity on. And Sayori falls into that third category. What? Hold on, you're saying that Sayori is taking pity on you? Yuri nods. I just want to be treated like a normal person. If you don't like me, or you don't connect with my interests, then just tell me. I can accept that and move on. Sayori is too nice to me. I'm so stupid for not realizing that she will just go along with whatever I pushed onto her. Nobody deserves to put themselves through that kind of discomfort just because they pity some weirdo who doesn't know how to make friends. It's the worst feeling. I hate it. Yuri's sharp words cut through the tense air. Somewhere in the middle of the conversation, the two stopped short in the hallway, prioritizing the conversation over the original task. Monika looks at Yuri. Yuri only looks down with her fists clenched. Settings are the same, right? Yeah. I think you should tell her that. I could never say that to someone's face. It's pathetic. Sayori is different. Making people feel happy is the most important thing to her. I'm sure that's all she's trying to do. So if you're able to explain to her what makes you happy, then she'll do anything to make it happen. That's the problem. What kind of friendship has one person always trying to cater to the other person's weird needs? I'm sorry. I'm making myself sound so... No. I think I'm starting to understand. Monika hesitates to finish her thought out loud. It's something that Sayori will be able to say better. Sayori is someone who will give anyone however much kindness they need in order to smile. But Yuri, who has difficulty accepting kindness, must be driving Sayori to be even more assertive in her kindness, further exacerbating the matter. Whatever. I'm not sure how to pronounce that. Sorry. I need help. Neither person is to blame, but it's an issue that can't be resolved without them understanding each other better. Sayori wants to be your friend. I understand that. It's okay for different people to have different needs. I mean, Sayori, she has her own needs too. But good friends work together and can be what they need for each other. Let me just drink some water here. Some good water. You just have to have good communication and talk about it. I don't have good communication. Yuri stops and shakes her head. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to say that. My head is it's so resistant to everything. I'm pushing such a kind person away from me because of it. Yuri pauses to think. I'm so tired of the cycle I'm creating for myself. I think I'm so afraid of people pushing me away that I just push them away first. I'm thoughtless and immature of me. Yuri takes a deep breath and exhales. I didn't mean for this to turn into a whole venting session, but I understand now that I just need to communicate with her. Haha, you're totally fine. It's for the club, remember? You're just helping make the club a better place for everyone. Yeah. Yuri falls silent again. She looks like she wants to say something. This is the kind of critical thinking. This kind of critical thinking is something that I'm really bad at. You know about people. So, thank you. Anytime. Monika smiles at Yuri. For just a moment, Yuri finds it in herself to meet Monika's gaze, returning a shy smile of her own. Yeah, look at that smile. That slight smile. That slight smile. So cute. Very cute. Yes. Yuri and Monika finish replacing the old flyers with the new ones. More accurately, Monika mostly did the work while Yuri followed along. But as the club room once again draws near, so does Yuri's confrontation. I can't do this. Yes, you can. It'll be great. Yuri sighs and shakes her head. I'm never going to feel confident enough. I just have to do it. If I don't do it now, I never will. Yuri starts towards the door, but then turns to face Monika. You're not just going to wait outside, are you? I can take a walk. Want me to get you a coffee or something? Actually, I prefer tea. I like to make my own though, so please don't worry about it. Although, I suppose that's one downside of reading here in the club, rather than at home. I don't get to drink tea while reading. Sorry, I guess that has nothing to do with this. You know, now that you mention it, I bet we could get permission to keep stuff for tea in the club room. You can use like an electric kettle to heat up water, right? Will that really be possible? I'll look into it. I think it would be great. Yuri smiles and nods at the thought. Well, I'll be back in a bit. Good luck. Monika waves at Yuri, then turns around and departs down the hallway as Yuri's smile fades once more. A moment of daydreaming about tea isn't enough to save her from the anxiety of the task that lies before her. But it must be done. Taking one more deep breath, Yuri timidly opens the club room door. Yuri? Wait, hold on, I'm not done yet. Sayori shuffles a bunch of papers around. Yuri stammers, her words suddenly caught in her throat. At that moment, she realizes how Sayori has been spending her afternoon. I wasn't expecting you to come today. I was really hoping to make it all the way through the next chapter first, but I got most of the way through it. And look! Sayori holds up a sheet of paper. It's a page of notes, beautifully produced with indentations, categories, and even color coding. Sayori really went all out here. It's like she made a wiki. She should have just made a wiki. As Yuri sees it, her expression shifts from anxiety to despair. I was afraid you were gonna get disappointed in me, so I've been trying really hard. Stop. Yuri presses her fists against her forehead. Please, stop. I can't take this. Yuri? Sayori's voice quivers in shock after having received the exact opposite response she was expecting. I'm sorry. Sayori looks away in guilt. Did I do something wrong? I don't understand, so if I did something wrong, please tell me. Yuri shakes her head. No, it's me. I keep putting myself in these situations where people are afraid to treat me normally. If you don't like this kind of reading, it's okay. Please, just tell me. I don't need to be treated differently just because I'm weird. But I don't treat you differently. I just want my friends to be happy. So I thought that if we did something together that you really like, I don't want your pity. Why did I do that? Yuri sinks to her knees, her voice squeaks. I'm sorry. Tears of guilt and self-loathing begin to stream down her face. This isn't how it was supposed to go. Why is it so hard just to articulate your thoughts? Why do you end up pushing everyone away from you? Yuri's mind pounds with internal accusations as she shuts her eyes, unable to face Sayori or the rest of the world. She should leave, just escape from here, before Monika sees her like this and before Sayori tells Monika what she did. But before Yuri can put any strength into her legs, she feels a warm pair of arms gently wrap around her from behind. It's okay. All of this, it's so dramatic. I like this art. The art here, the CG, it's amazing. Yeah. Sayori whispers in a soothing voice. It's okay. It's okay. Overcome by despair, Yuri finds herself unable to protest or pull away from Sayori's kind gesture. Yuri sniffles, breathing heavily through a clenched throat, trying with all her willpower to control herself. I understand. I understand that the things you're feeling in your head are different from the things you're trying to say. I know that must be what you're feeling right now. That must be what you're feeling right now. Understanding. I promise, I understand that. So I'll give you as much time as you need. When you're ready, just tell me your feelings and we'll talk about them together, okay? Oh, that's why Yuri went... When Sayori disappeared, Yuri went crazy because, basically, it started with Monika breaking the trust of Sayori and Sayori disappearing, which caused Yuri to go crazy. It's all connected. Yuri sniffles again and nods her head. She gives herself a minute to compose her thoughts, and speaks while steadying her voice. I think that I've gotten so used to people being weirded out by me that it feels like anyone who's nice to me is just doing it out of pity. I'm so horrible with people, so it makes me not want to believe that someone can actually like me for who I am. Yuri pauses, but Sayori doesn't interrupt. Rather, she waits for Yuri to continue. She's a good listener, Sayori. I got so excited when I joined the literature club. I thought that it was finally my chance to make friends through my interests. Because my interests are the only things I know how to talk about. I truly get Yuri. I truly get her. I understand too. It's all because it's all I have going for me. But then whenever I catch myself getting overly obsessive in front of other people, it feels like I'm making a fool of myself. I hate myself for it. Ultimately, I just want to be treated like a normal person. But how am I supposed to expect that when I can't even behave like one? I just want to learn how to get along with people and stop ruining things for myself. That's all. Yuri finishes her thoughts, feeling more steady after having gotten them out. Sayori, who can feel Yuri's breath rise and fall, from beneath her arms realizes that as well. Thank you for helping me understand you a little better. You know, you were so great at helping me while we were reading. So I'll help you with the things that you need too. But I feel like it will just be frustrating for you, with how much patience I require sometimes. Hehehe. That sounds kinda familiar. I couldn't stop worrying about that while we were reading. I was so afraid you will get frustrated with me. But but I will never do that. I did my best to reassure you by mentioning how I have a lot of patience. Yeah, I know, but my irrational fears just won't be quiet sometimes. I'm sure it's the same for you, right? Yeah, irrational fears. Well, you know, there's no way that you could frustrate me because I already like you as the person that you are. I know you said you have a hard time believing that, but I promise that it's true. Hmm. You don't have to be a social person for people to like you. I think you're really considerate in your own way, you know? Worrying so much about people's feelings. We're all kind of weird. It's a literature club. But it's the best part that we're all different and have different interests. Like, about the book. I'm reading it because I want to. I promise that's what I really want. It's a bit of a struggle, but try not to mistake that for me not enjoying it. I mean, we could never discover new things if we didn't try them first, right? I wanted to learn the reasons that you love it so much. And in the end, if it's not for me, then I can say uh, that, uh, then I can say that. But I'll be glad that I tried it and learned more about you. Plus, you're like super duper smart, and I want that to rub off on me. Yuri fights back a smile at that comment. She actually smiled. Already, the heavy atmosphere surrounding her seems to have evaporated through the caress of Sayori's arms. Your hair is so pretty. I always wanted long hair, but I was awful at taking care of it, so I cut it all off. Hmm. Yuri's tension relaxes. For once, she feels okay just listening, rather than worrying so much about saying the right thing. Sayori, sensing Yuri's comfort, lets her rest. It must be so difficult for her to feel relaxed around other people. But if the literature club can make it happen, then it's something that she deserves to experience. Well then, based on my understanding of your feelings, I suppose I wouldn't mind if we were to continue reading. That's what I wanted to hear. But we can stop at any time. If you really don't like it, please be honest with it. I won't be offended. Of course. I'm not gonna judge anything this early on though. So we'll just see what happens. Oh, and um it's not good to touch people without their consent first. Oh no, I'm sorry. I didn't need to make you uncomfortable. You didn't. I mean, I suppose it was kind of nice. I was just saying. I'm back. Monika's back. I haven't seen you like at all recently. Sayori trots over to Monika. Ah, she whispers loudly. Can I hug you? Sure, Sayori. Sayori wraps her arms around Monika. Oh yeah, Yuri, it might be good to know. Sayori can be kind of a hug monster. Uh, hey, don't call me a monster. Artemis is a monster. If he inherits the kingdom, it could spell disaster. Yuri laughs. Monika perplexedly looks between the two of them, then smiles. Well, I'm glad you've been enjoying your reading so far. It's like our first real activity as the literature club. About that, well, you've been so patient with exploring my interests. I think that it would be inconsiderate of me not to return the favor to you and learn about the things that you like. Yes! Do you like poetry? Yuri smiles. Mail! We got mail! What's this mail? What's this mail? Wait, why can't I click? The game hanged. Let me... Oh, there we go. We got mail. Have a nice weekend. Have a nice week. And entitled mail group. Metaverse. I'm on leave the rest of the week. Contact Ravi if you need to schedule server time, but I expect my job to run for a few days since we've collected so much data this week. How about we arrange a meeting to discuss the results when I return? Do not use. And it's the day too. No, this 2019. No. But it's the same day today. Interesting. Interesting. What's this? I believe in you. Shopping list. Let's use this. Why is it Sayori again though? But then again, Sayori was there, so I guess it's fine. Look at that, they're so cute together. How about the music? Yeah, there's new music. Yeah. So I'll probably be continuing the rest of the side stories next Saturday, along with 100%ing the DDLC. We need to get the other ending. That's what we'll be doing for next Saturday. So by next Saturday we'll be wrapping up this game, basically. So thoughts so far on the side stories? These kind of give a new perspective on what happened in the main game. So from this, we, in a sense, Monika is not the odd one out. It's actually us, the player. Because look here, Monika starts the literature club, and then gets Sayori to join, and somehow they balance each other out. Monika and Sayori balance each other out in the sense that, basically that they balance each other's emotions out. Like Monika trusts basically that trust. Monika trusts Sayori, and Sayori has trust in Monika. Like they trust each other with their feelings, their secrets, and whatnot. Yeah, in a way they balance each other. And then for the understanding, we see that Sayori understands Yuri, and that's what kind of keeps Yuri in line, or at least keeps her stable. And then what happened in the main game is that we, the main character, we go in and we break that balance. So we get Monika off. We basically tilt Monika off balance, and that leads to Monika breaking the trust between. Yeah, we basically break the trust between them, the two of them. Our entrance basically leads Monika to breaking that trust between the two of them. So Sayori goes unstable, and then she hangs out basically. And then with Sayori gone, no one's there to understand Yuri. That's why she goes crazy. Yeah, it gives a new perspective on the main story. I'm not yet sure what the respect will do, but I guess that will add in also to what we're gonna see as we go through we get the other we unlock the other ending, which I think is the true ending, canon ending. I'm not sure, but yeah, those are my thoughts so far. So we'll be continuing the DDLC Plus playthrough again next Saturday. Be positive, guys, and everyone believes in you. So that's it for now. Yeah, I'll see you guys again soon. I hope everyone's having a great day, a wonderful time. If not, take care, and yeah, remember, I'm rooting for all of you. So that's it for now. Goodbye. Okay, let me end this. Going to the ending. Ending.